This week, let's talk about having a high overhead and ways to help. Overhead is the cost or expense of your game, and sometimes it's a reason why your game can succeed or fail. High overhead can be from all sorts of things, whether it's the components, the art, or shipping. There are a lot of pitfalls, so I'm going to cover just a few and ways to help alleviate them. Let's start with components. The components of your game are going to directly affect the production costs. Unique shapes, larger sizes, or unique materials, like metal, are all things that can significantly increase the cost of your game. To help reduce your total cost, try sticking with common sizes and common materials. This can be things like standard poker cards versus non-standard sizes, or using woodcut components versus things that need to be casted or molded, or even something simple like using a telescoping box versus a magnetic one. Of course, another option is higher volume. Sometimes it's just ordering in more volume. Certain types of materials have better price breaks at certain quantities. Lastly, for all your components, try to stick to maximum sheet counts. For example, if your cards come 54 to a sheet, make sure you use all 54 or multiples of 54. Having unused components on a sheet reduces the value of your game while keeping the cost high. While manufacturing is likely the most expensive aspect of your game, next up is likely art. Finding ways to maximize your art assets. For example, reusing assets in multiple places, and finding designers and artists who match your game are all ways to reduce the costs of art in general. Lastly, kind of combining the manufacturing and component selection. Another way to help reduce overhead is when you're shipping your game, having a game under a certain weight. The heavier your game, the more expensive it is to ship and fulfill that game. My recommendation overall is to get lots of quotes, talk to a lot of companies, and do a lot of research. Those are the main ways you're going to find the best ways to cut costs and reduce your overhead. If you're planning a small run, go ahead and get a quote from the Game Crafter. You can do that here. Let me know your tips for reducing overhead in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you gamers next week.